That's
She,
why she
in
brought
her
the daisy.
eyes, something's off.
She looked like a soldier.
Something's off with her.
No, it's good.
What?
I'm sorry. That was acting. That's what that was. I don't really care what happens with this movie. I really hope her career is pretty much over. I'd be thrilled to see that. I can't imagine. I mean, Chris.
The downfall of The Last of Us TV show is one of the wildest collapses in modern streaming history. What started as one of HBO's most ambitious and beloved adaptations quickly spiraled into controversy, backlash, and disappointment. And when the smoke finally cleared, fans were left pointing fingers, and the loudest finger pointing of all was aimed directly at Bella Ramsey. Joe Rogan, never one to hold back, decided to absolutely tear into the mess. And in his usual unfiltered way, he roasted Bella Ramsey as the central reason this once promising series completely crashed and burned. To him, the failure wasn't some mystery caused by writers or bad timing. It was about the show's lead star completely alienating fans, making bizarre comments, and dragging the series down with her.
Like most people, I liked the first season. I thought they did a great job. Season 2, I was skeptical on them not recasting Ellie and keeping Bella Ramsey as Ellie because it's supposed to take place 5 years into the future, but obviously Bella Ramsey in real life was not going to age that much in, the 2 years it took between seasons. So in the show, Ellie still looks exactly the same, but is supposed to be 5 years older. Also, Ellie still acts exactly the same. For some reason, they made the decision for The Last of Us Season 2 to make Ellie dumb, to the point where she even says that she's stupid. Why?
Had to not like each other for a bit.
You had to not like me, which
True.
came easy.
Up your impression at all, or is it pretty much the same?
Well, the noise is the same. I've not got any more noises in my back. The new infected are pretty terrifying. They're so smart, and they haven't really got a noise. That's the whole point of them. They're silent and terrifying.
Ooh, give us a little silent and terrifying.
Yes, maybe we can prop it open with something and you can slide. Whoa! Oh my god, what? Is it getting bigger? Stop it. No, seriously, what's with that? It's fine, Joel. Does it hurt? Joel, please, you're making me self-conscious. I'm sorry, it's just a little bit startling. Normal head, Joel. Can we just get back to the door things? It's planetary. Leave it. It's gonna have its own area code soon.
Show is finally speaking out about its failure. The Last of Us creator Craig Mazin admits Season 2 was a finale, drew over 50% less than the finale of Season 1. You lost.
From the beginning, Rogan mocked how HBO had a golden opportunities with a fan-favorite video game adaptation. The show already had built-in hype, millions of fans waiting for it, and a perfect blueprint from the original story. Season 1 should have been the easiest win for the network, and at first, it looked like they had nailed it until Bella Ramsey became the face of the franchise. Joe roasted the casting decision from day one. He laughed about how fans were scratching their heads when HBO chose Bella over dozens of other actresses who could have nailed the role of Ellie. Even before the show aired, people were questioning the decision. Rogan pointed out that the backlash wasn't some sudden, random hate campaign. It was fans noticing something was off right away, and instead of proving the doubters wrong, Bella leaned into it, doubling down on behavior that made audiences dislike her even more. What really set Rogan off was Bella's attitude outside of the show. Instead of trying to win people over, Bella went on interviews mocking the fan base, throwing shade at anyone who criticized her, and pushing a take-it-or-leave-it attitude. Rogan laughed at how ridiculous it was, how an actor could get the role of a lifetime and then immediately go out of their way to insult the very people who made the franchise popular. As he put it, the audience wanted The Last of Us to succeed. They loved Pedro Pascal. They loved the story, and they were ready to fall in love with the adaptation. But Bella made it all about herself. She turned press tours into personal soapboxes, made divisive statements, and alienated fans to the point where even die-hard supporters of the franchise started tuning out. Rogan also went after the infamous "I'm gonna be a dad" interview moment. He roasted it mercilessly, saying it was one of the weirdest, most unnecessary things an actor has ever said during a press run. Instead of focusing on Ellie's journey or the depth of the story, Bella seemed more interested in creating internet headlines, and those headlines didn't make fans love her more. They made people question why HBO gave her the role in the first place. The more Rogan talked about it, the more he highlighted how this was the perfect storm of arrogance and bad judgment. He argued that Pedro Pascal carried season 1 on his back, and fans were willing to look past Bella's missteps at first because the show still had momentum. But once season 2 shifted more attention to her, the weaknesses became impossible to ignore. Ratings dipped, backlash grew louder, and the internet was flooded with memes mocking both Bella and the show. Rogan didn't just stop at mocking her comments, he went after the performance itself. He argued that Bella never really captured the spirit of Ellie from the games. Fans loved Ellie because she was witty, sharp, and full of charm. But on screen, Bella came off as awkward and unconvincing. And when viewers complained instead of improving, Bella got defensive and started attacking the audience. Rogan said it was like watching someone drive a car straight into a wall and then blame the road. By the time HBO announced that The Last of Us wouldn't be renewed for season 3, Rogan said it was no surprise at all. He laughed about how executives tried to spin it as creative differences or natural ending points. But fans knew the truth. The backlash against Bella Ramsey was too strong. The show couldn't survive with a lead actor who had turned so many viewers away. Rogan roasted the idea that Bella thought she was untouchable. He pointed out how Hollywood sometimes protects stars who are polarizing, but only if they bring in big numbers. Bella didn't. Instead, she became a liability, and HBO wasn't willing to keep throwing money at a show that fans were abandoning in droves. He even joked about how Bella's next career move would probably be trying to force her way into other franchises, like Marvel or Star Wars, only to get rejected again. Rogan said the industry doesn't reward arrogance without results, and Bella's track record proved that audiences simply weren't buying what she was selling. What made Rogan's roast sting even more was how he connected Bella's downfall to a bigger pattern in Hollywood. He argued that studios are so obsessed with pushing certain agendas that they forget the simple truth. Fans just want good storytelling and actors they can connect with. Bella became the face of everything fans hated: arrogance, condescension, and the inability to take criticism. The roast didn't just stay on stage either. Clips of Rogan mocking Bella spread across the internet, with fans piling on in the comments. Memes popped up showing Bella's interviews side by side with plummeting ratings charts. People joked that Bella didn't just ruin The Last of Us, she managed to take down one of the most beloved gaming franchises in the process. And while Rogan was ruthless, he also pointed out a painful truth. Bella could have avoided all of this. If she had handled the backlash with humility, focused on improving her craft, and respected the fan base, the show might have survived. Instead, she treated criticism like an enemy to fight, and in doing so, she turned millions of viewers into permanent critics. In Rogan's words, The Last of Us didn't get canceled because of bad luck. It got canceled because Bella Ramsey was the wrong star at the wrong time, and she never figured out how to turn things around. The series became a cautionary tale for Hollywood, and Bella became the cautionary figure at the center of it. Joe Rogan's roasting didn't just stop at blaming Bella for The Last of Us cancellation. He also dug into how her downfall became one of the most embarrassing PR disasters in modern television. He said Hollywood had seen stars flame out before, but Bella's situation was unique because she went from being hailed as a rising star to becoming a punchline in just 2 short seasons. Rogan mocked the way Bella tried to spin the cancellation in her favor. Instead of accepting responsibility or showing humility, she went on social media acting like she was the victim. She posted vague statements about creative differences and toxic fans, but Rogan laughed at how transparent it was. Everyone could see that HBO had cut ties because the audience simply didn't want her as the face of the show anymore. He compared it to other controversial actors who at least had box office numbers or big fan bases to back them up. Bella had neither. She had a string of awkward interviews, unpopular moments, and endless backlash. Rogan pointed out that once HBO realized she wasn't winning fans over, they made the business decision to shut it all down. And the fact that Bella tried to act like it was out of her control only made the situation worse. From there, Rogan went after Bella's attempts to pivot. He roasted how she started hinting at wanting roles in Marvel, DC, and other big franchises, as if she could just walk into them after sinking The Last of Us. Rogan said it was almost delusional, the idea that studios would line up to cast someone who had just overseen one of the most disappointing collapses in TV history. Fans weren't buying tickets for Bella, and executives knew it. What really made the roast sting was when Rogan joked about how Bella had turned into a walking warning sign for other networks. Anytime her name came up in casting rumors, fans would immediately flood social media with negative comments, memes, and reminders of what happened with HBO. She had managed to brand herself not as a star, but as the person who ruined one of the most beloved gaming adaptations of all time. The ripple effect was undeniable. Rogan highlighted how even Pedro Pascal, who had been beloved in season 1, started getting dragged into the fallout. Instead of being remembered for carrying the show, his name kept getting tied back to Bella's failures. Rogan argued that this was the ultimate proof of how damaging she was. Not only did she sink her own career, but she pulled others down with her. He also mocked the way Bella tried to lean on her die-hard supporters. Rogan said a few online defenders don't mean anything when millions of casual fans are against you. Hollywood doesn't care about small echo chambers, it cares about the broad audience. And the broad audience had spoken loud and clear. They were done with Bella Ramsey. Rogan then pointed out something even harsher. HBO had invested millions into marketing Bella as the new face of prestige television. They put her on magazine covers, award campaigns, and press tours, and all of that money went straight down the drain. Instead of elevating her, it exposed her weaknesses on the biggest stage possible. Rogan laughed at how HBO must have felt watching their investment crumble in real time. What really sealed the roast, though, was Rogan's prediction of Bella's future. He said she'll probably keep popping up in indie films or streaming side projects, but the days of her leading a major franchise are over. Big studios don't gamble on actors who polarize audiences this much. In his words, Bella had her shot and she blew it in spectacular fashion. The roast was harsh, but it resonated because it was true. Bella Ramsey had gone from being handed one of the biggest roles in television to being blamed for its complete cancellation. And while some stars bounced back from setbacks, Rogan's take made it clear this wasn't just a setback, it was a career-defining disaster. Rogan's roast also highlighted the ripple effect of Bella's downfall on the larger entertainment landscape. He joked that every time a fan petition for a new Last of Us season popped up online, the first comment would always be, "As long as Bella Ramsey isn't in it." He said Bella had unintentionally turned her name into a red flag for viewers, to the point where even rumors of her being attached to other shows sparked instant backlash. He also mocked the way late-night hosts and comedians began weaving Bella into their jokes, turning her career struggles into a running gag. For Rogan, this was the ultimate sign that she wasn't just unpopular, she had become cultural shorthand for failure. He closed by saying that Hollywood is brutal, but Bella's own choices sealed her fate, and now she'll be remembered less as an actress and more as the reason The Last of Us collapsed.